Anybody smell cheese? Smell something. Here's a look at the Green Bay Packers draft board and a little record screech moment there at 26. Jordan Love, the quarterback prospect out of Utah State, likely going to be groomed here behind Aaron Rodgers. Much has been made about Rodgers' reaction or lack thereof. Speculation towards the reaction that Aaron Rodgers could have regarding this move, and the decision to not target pass catchers beyond Jordan Love. No love for Aaron Rodgers. Roll out the barrel and make sure it's full, because they're going to be doing some drinking in Green Bay, I have a feeling. Brady Quinn, Pete Prisco here to shed some light on what's going on in Ashwaubenon. Pete, when you look at the Packers board, they come in with needs. We can say that maybe their strengths coming into the draft were quarterback and running back, and right off the bat they go quarterback and running back. Can you make sense of what's happened in Green Bay?
No, I cannot, and I will be astounded if any of the players that they drafted in this draft start next year. That's not a good look for a team that was, a game away from being in the Super Bowl. It absolutely is mind-numbing to figure out why they did what they did. Jordan Love, look, granted, you got to get a quarterback for the future, but not now. This isn't the spot to do it. I don't think he's the guy to do it. Maybe down the road with development he'll be good, but by the time he's good, it's going to be he's not going to play for 3 years if Rodgers is on the field for 3 more years. It makes no sense to me. You come back and get a running back. I know Aaron Jones is in the final year of his deal, but again, not a pressing need. You got Jones, you got Jamal Williams, and now you come back and you draft A.J. Dillon. Didn't like it. Draft a tight end in the 3rd round, which is he's basically an H-back. I didn't like that move at all. And on it goes. It's disappointing because they had such a successful offseason a year ago. You know, they added Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, and they did some really good things in the draft. Then they come back and they do this. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's a horrible draft for the Green Bay Packers.
I would actually argue this with Pete. Outside of adding Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, and then drafting Jared Alexander, which was a no-brainer, and then Darnell Savage, their 2nd first-round pick last year, I'm not really sure Brian Gutekunst has built up enough equity for me to make me think that he can make this sort of move that, what Ted Thompson and some of the others that were within the Green Bay Packers organization did back in the day. If you're trying to follow that blueprint, you better have something to show for it. I don't know that any of the players they've drafted outside of the people that I'd mentioned, they either added in free agency or they added via the draft, have been impact players for them so far. So for that reason, I think you have to be skeptical about what they've done right now, because none of what they've done in this draft will help them get better and win a Super Bowl this year. A team that was 13-3 last year, we never really felt like reached their potential. And now they've brought in guys who really are just kind of providing their roster with depth. And I do think there were playmakers to be had early in this draft and holes. So whether it's Jordan Love, who, again, I like the young man. I think he's got a lot of upside to him. It doesn't help to win a Super Bowl now. Going even into the 2nd round, looking at A.J. Dillon. They remind me of like a Derrick Henry, a bigger physical style running back. But again, I'm not necessarily sure that's the best thing for this offense, where everyone else in the NFL is loading up on speed and firepower, and you're trying to run the football more and slow games down. I will say this. If you look at what they did from the 6th round on and some of the players they added, John Runyon, who some people think will be a guard at the next level, he played well at tackle spot, put on the Ohio State tape versus Chase Young. I thought he was up to the challenge there. And obviously the son of John Ryan Sr. Coming out of Michigan, he could be a solid player moving forward. Jake Hansen out of Oregon, too. I think he's got some upside to him as far as the developmental piece. And Stepaniak out of Indiana, another nasty guy, one of the better players there at Indiana. All guys that I think could be building blocks on their offensive line. But I looked through their draft and I'm wondering, wasn't their biggest need adding someone to help out Devontae Adams? They didn't address that. So that's the problem for me. Is I think this has been a major whiff for Brian Gutekunst and the Green Bay Packers as far as addressing how they can help win their Super Bowl now, not 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.